In today's video, I have the top 10 loadouts for Season 8 that you should be using in Ranked. Let's hop right into it. I do have to preface this with, you know what, these are not in any specific order. I'm going to try to keep it fairly organized, and we're going to start off with the SKS. I don't think I need to explain this gun too much. It's a one tap to the head, a two shot to the body. Bam, bam, bam. If you're accurate, this gun will be dominant in every match you play. Here's my gunsmith. The only thing a little bit special about this is I like to run FMJ because it helps you kill people off of head glitches. Next up, I'm going to be running this LCAR gunsmith for every loadout because the LCAR is the best secondary. If you want to run a melee, just run boxing gloves. They're really good too. And then we have Annihilator, Thermite, and Trophy System. This is the meta right now. I believe Molotov was nerfed a little bit this season, so I think Thermite's just going to be maybe a bit better. I do need to try out the new cluster grenade, which I will make a separate video on. But as of right now, this is what I'm rocking. And then we have UAV, Advanced UAV, and Swarm. These are my favorite score streaks. Score streaks are personal preference. It just depends how high of a streak you think you can get on in a match. Now, because this is a slower gun, you want to play back and more passive with it. I like to run fast recovery. You're going to recover your HP by 35% faster. And then toughness, there's a lot of flinch on the SKS, and this is going to help reduce that by 60%. Last but not least, we got hardline. This is going to help you earn your score streaks a lot faster. Usually I would run dead silence, but for a gun like the SKS, when you're going to be playing slower in the first place, hardline is perfect. Next up, we got the Fennec. It did get worse. It was way higher on my list of favorite weapons to use last season, but this season it got nerfed. So it's still pretty viable, but it's not as good at distance. Here's my gunsmith. It's all about reducing recoil, and you want a large magazine on it. I would only recommend using this gun if you're going to play in a hard point or you're playing a smaller map like Summit. My LCAR gunsmith is the same. The only difference here is my perks. I'm actually running Dauntless. I love Dauntless. It's actually not as strong this season, but for SMGs when you're rushing, I still think it's really good. You don't want to run through a Molotov and die immediately. And we got Quick Fix to help you regen faster after a gunfight because you're going to be killing a lot of people, and hopefully you'll be in their spawn or near whatever choke point you're at. So you need to be able to get back to full health as soon as possible. Next up, we have the CBR. I know this gun also got nerfed, but it was not enough. I think the goal of the COD mobile devs right now is to balance every gun in the game. So actually they did not hurt the CBR that badly, which I know some of you guys wanted that because it's been in the meta for over a year now, which I feel like I say every video when I cover new loadouts. I always mention how good the CBR has been and will be, and it's definitely a top 5 gun. This is my gunsmith. Not much has changed since last season. And the only other difference in this loadout from the previous Fennec one is I actually run Ghost because you can play a little bit slower with the CBR. Next up, my favorite gun, or one of my favorite guns, one of my favorite SMGs for sure, is the Bison. And I know a lot of people enjoy it because it's one of the easiest weapons to use ever in Call of Duty Mobile. No recoil and a lot of ammo. Here's my gunsmith. Pretty basic. Don't really know what to say about this. Try it out. I'm sure you've tried it before, but try it again because every season it's going to be easy to use and consistent. And literally everything else is the same as my CBR. Honestly, this gun and the CBR are kind of neck and neck now, in my opinion, for top 10 guns. Next up, we got the Switchblade, which is amazing. I grinded this to leaderboards. It's the best SMG in the game currently. Really, really good all around. Doesn't really have too many weaknesses. You're going to see a lot of pros using this. And then I do run Quick Fix and Dauntless. Quick Fix because you're going to be more aggressive with this than you would be with the Bison and CBR. Next up, loadout number 6. We got some Spice. We got the HVK. It's an extremely fast killing weapon. It's a 2-shot if you hit him in the head once, or it's a 3-shot to the body with an extremely fast fire rate and good magazine capacity because they actually buffed the magazine last update. And I am running Fast Recover, Ghost, and Dead Silence. Next up for our 7th loadout, I believe yes, it is 7. We have the Kilo 141. Do I even need to talk about this at all? I feel like it's kind of self-explanatory. Nothing changed about this gun. It's been good for a while, almost as long as a CBR. You can use the default iron sights, but if you have the Mythic, I recommend it because it kind of has a little bit of pay-to-win iron sight. And I am running toughness because there's a bit of flinch on the Kilo. Next up for loadout number 8, we got the Hoger. I'm honestly was just debating if I should put the Hoger on here or not because I hate playing against Hoger users, but it is still amazing. And they added a new mechanic where there's more flinch now added onto LMGs, so it's really hard to play against this gun, but it is very good. If you want to win more matches, use the Hoger. And of course, we're running Ghost and Fast Recover. Number 9 is another LMG. LMGs are definitely going to be the meta right now. We have the UL736. I feel like this gun is really loved by pros more than it is casual players because in pro matches, you see it all the time, but you don't really see it as much, or I don't see it as much when I'm playing you know, public ranked matches. So if you have not given it a try yet, you know what? Slap this gunsmith on. I forgot to mention I am running hardline for these last 2 loadouts for both my LMGs because you want to play a little bit slower. Dead silence doesn't matter too much. You want to rack up those score streaks. And then last but not least, especially not least, probably the best actually, with the LK24. I like to run it with just a default iron sight because I have those pay to win sights on some of my skins. But if you want to, you can take off, for example, disable it and put on red dot. I personally, like I mentioned earlier, think this is the best gun in the game. It's ridiculous just how good it is. No recoil. I mean, it's even though it's so good, it's also extremely easy to control. It's not like the Fennec where it's hard to use. Anyone can use this gun, and you will see everyone use this gun. Trust me, especially if you play this season. But anyways, guys, that's it for my top 10 loadouts. If you enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later.